Greetings, gentle viewers!
And howdy howdy!
Last time we said we would soldier on through the multitude of events that await.
But instead we're gonna sound the retreat.
Speaking of retreating from adversity, we're the Bittersweet Gamers!
I'm we squared.
I'm the opinionator. Yeah, it's true. I admit to a little bit of regret. Had we known what all the party chatter was going to be, we just wouldn't have presented it all last time.
Yeah, because a lot of it is unimportant characterization that we already know, and we're already invested in the characters, so it's not going to make us more invested in the characters.
Yeah, we already like the characters, we're already invested in the characters, we're already invested in the story. There wasn't really that much to get out of it, or at the very least, you know, why would you want to sit through it all? It took almost the entire episode, and with this many, it's going to do that again. Well, we don't really want to do that.
So we're just going to show you the ones that we think are important.
We would have done that last time.
Had we known.
Yeah, and so it would have cut about all of this down to half. Now, obviously, if there's something interesting or important, we're going to show it.
Yeah.
We've always wanted to show all of the required events, but I really do think that endless small talk at a party is not what anybody came here for. Nobody's got time for that, including us.
It's just as entertaining as it is in real life at parties.
Well, those could be really entertaining. They might not be. There you go. So if you hate us for it, so be it. If you've lasted this long, you probably didn't. But anyway, we're not going to make this take up the entire freaking time.
So we're moving on.
I swear, I know we're nearly at the end of the game. Is small talk at a party what we should be doing? There you are, Una and Altina, talking with Major Claire, I see.
There you are, Instructor Schwarzer, stating the obvious.
You got me! Instructor, she got you. Well, hello there.
You've been bouncing between all the different chats the whole night, Instructor.
Well, I'm the character who's controlled by the player, and there are required events presented above me, so I've had no choice. I mean, a chance to talk with all these different people doesn't come often. I need to make the most of it. I remember that Una knew Claire from before, but had you met her before the start of the school year, Altina? I ask knowing that you have, based on how you talked about her in the past. What do you mean breaking the fourth wall? What do you mean? Oh god, I'm turning into Abraham Blubble. Yes, she often looked after Milliam and me when we went on joint missions.
We haven't had a good chance to talk with each other like this since back when I was still at the police academy. She really helped me out a lot back then.
Oh, Una, it was nothing. What precisely did the Major help with? If you're comfortable sharing it with us, that is.
Oh, well, it's old news by now, but it happened at the end of last year. After Lloyd was branded a criminal, I started protesting to the military police HQ. But the new head of the department was from Erebonia, and he revoked all the academic credits I'd gained.
For protesting? Could he even do that? Such actions were both beyond his rights and unfounded. Precisely. I felt it was completely uncalled for, so I stepped in. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get all her units back.
But we managed to get about half of them reinstated, and we reached an agreement where I'd be able to get the other half back by attending a different school.
Now I see. So that's why she's here.
Yeah.
I guess we never did find out why.
That's good to know.
It's weird that we found out so late, but there you go. So that's how you ended up at the branch campus then. Correct. I thought it would benefit her more than simply retaking the same classes at the Military Police Academy. I heard a new Class 7 was going to be formed, so I recommended her to the branch campus. I had no idea.
I was pretty ticked off at the time, but now I feel like everything worked out for the best. If I'd continued on at the police academy and joined the military police, I probably would have exploded from stress.
That would not have been a good job for you. Not anymore.
But don't think this means I was happy to be in your class or anything, Baka.
I'm well aware of your feelings about being in my class at the beginning of the year, yes. That's a shame. But does this mean you're gonna leave us once you get your credits? Ah. Well... Aww.
After going through all that to get here, there's no way I'm going to just up and leave you guys. there are so many things I want to do here now. And besides, I need to stick around to look after you, Allie. You have been adopted, whether you like it or not.
Well, as far as schoolwork is concerned, I'm the one who's adopted you. I'm glad you found such a good place for yourself, Una. The idea of her leaving doesn't even make sense anymore.
Right?
Why would she need to just go join the military police, especially
In its current state?
what she wanted to join was the Crossbell police.
Right.
Wow, so that was when you and Brigadier General Bardius first met.
I'm sure your little duel ended up wrecking everything around you for a whole selge.
Well, duels are an excellent way to deepen one's bonds. That is true, isn't it, Fee?
Now that you mention it, I guess so, yeah. Because that's how they...
Exactly, that was how they made up. Taking a trip down memory lane, I see? Yes, we were listening to Countess Le Guin's tales from when she was a student. After the school year began, she took control of the fencing club and declared war on all the other clubs.
Oh my god!
That sounds like a very Aurelia thing to do.
She beat the swimming club in a swimming race, the chess club at chess. Any club that lost to her had to join the fencing club.
She beat the literature club at literature.
Don't ask me how.
What do you mean? She wrote better literature than they did. Besides, do you think that the pinnacle of human achievement cannot defeat everyone else?
Fair point. Finally, she challenged Brigadier General Bardius, the president of the riding club, to a jousting match.
Well, I've heard bits and pieces of the story before, but that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. There are so many things wrong with that story. The match went on for 2 hours without a winner.
Jeez!
I'm not actually sure if that means I was winning the race or losing it. It finally ended in a draw when we each knocked the other off our horses simultaneously.
Well, it was a jousting match, so there wasn't racing involved.
Okay, yeah, there you go. It was that moment that Wallace became an important person to me. He's my right hand and my comrade, a rival and a partner. As a fellow swordswoman, I'm jealous of you. Having someone like that would be incredible.
Someone who's a nemesis but also a friend? I think I get it.
Since we have the chance, I'd like to hear your stories too. Surely you two destroyed the entire school? I've wondered about Laura, but I'm sure your history is just as fascinating. Have you, by chance, met the leader of the Red Constellation? Perhaps the War God, or maybe an S-rank bracer?
I've seen the War God's successor, but I haven't met any of the S-rank bracers yet.
Well, it's understandable. There are only a small handful of them on the entire continent, after all. They're really getting into the conversation now. I shouldn't be surprised that Aurelia already knew Laura, and I think she'll get along great with Fee, too. But really the best part is the Aurelia-like Aurelianness. Did she challenge the principal at principaling and defeat him, too?
I don't think there is a principaling club, and that's the only reason he got away. It's an honor to be able to speak with you, Your Highness. My name is Muse Egret.
Uh-huh, sure it is.
I apologize for not being able to meet with you before now.
Well, that's not quite true. I remember you visiting the palace about 13 years ago, when your parents were still alive. The two of us first met back then. It was then you first met Alphen, too. I remember the two of you playing and laughing.
I had no idea. Now that you mention it, I have a few fuzzy memories. I think I was about 4 at the time, so she must have been 3.
At the time, I never could have guessed what was going to happen to your parents. These words may be far too late, but my heart goes out to you for your loss.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you for your kind words.
I guess this is the first time they were able to talk like this. It's a good thing that Muse hasn't spilled the beans, or the Empress hasn't either. But if her parents came to visit the palace, that must mean... Introducing yourself to the Empress, Muse? Introducing yourself for the first time?
Why, yes, I've lived in Heimdall for some time now, but I never had the chance to speak with her. I was 3 last time I was here, remember? I'm glad I was able to put one of my regrets to rest. I'm sorry it took so long, Muse. Mother had actually been asking me to set up a meeting with you for a little while, but with everything that happened, I'm glad you two were finally able to speak, though. Thank you, Alphen.
I guess Muse's circumstances are more complicated than I thought, understatement. But I'm glad to hear that she has the Empress and Princess Alphen looking out for her.
If you're going to have some people looking out for you, the royal family is a pretty good people to have looking out for you. Did anyone understand that?
Oh, so Instructor Rean, are there any truth to the rumors you'll be dancing with the princess later this evening?
This again. I have no idea.
I suppose Cedric has been planning for that, but while I did ask before, I'm sure now it would be a bit difficult for you to accept, Rean. I explained things to Cedric, so everything should be fine now, and... Is it still happening, regardless?
I'm sure it's just a misunderstanding, but blah blah, Cedric said absolutely, oh, and by the way, I have to marry you and become the Emperor or whatever.
He did what? Is he still going ahead with this behind my back? I suppose it's been set in stone, little by little.
Kind of, it has.
I'm sure the two of you will look great together, but I can't help but feel a little jealous. And poor Elise. Yes, that's what's been bothering me the most.
Oh, sure it has. What does Elise have to do with this? Please explain it to me, the dummy.
What? What?
Yes, Rena's oblivious, we get it.
Anyway, Muse, please lend me your help. I'm sure that insidious mind of yours can come up with a plan. That's quite a way to ask for help, but I accept. After all, how could I say no to helping both Elise and my dearest instructor?
Okay, well, they're off in their own little world now. That dance is probably going to happen, isn't it? The thing is, I guess it's really not fair for Alphen to just force it, because it creates these social expectations. Yeah. And although, even if she accepts her loss, if she does say, but let's just go ahead and dance together anyway...
That's still going to create all kinds of hubbub.
There's already been hubbub, so...
The hubbest of bub, if that even makes sense.
I had heard Muse was one of your students.
Why do you keep saying it like that?
I'm truly happy I was able to get this chance to speak with her. I'm not too familiar with everything that's happening over in Lamar. I think that is obvious at this point. I get the feeling she has some complicated circumstances there. I'm sure she'll be able to tell you about it eventually, one way or another.
Either she'll come out with it on her own, or she'll become old enough to actually be appointed
Duchess.
Duchess, right.
We seem to be surrounded by so many tragic stories, such as Oliver's past. The way he lost his mother was truly heartbreaking. I've heard a few rumors, like how she was born a commoner. Yes, she was the one the Emperor was truly in love with. I remember it vividly. I was a humble maid back then. They lived far from Heimdall, and he was always trying to find ways to get her to live in the palace with him. Is it okay for me to be hearing about this? Oh, it's fine. Nearly everyone here at the palace knows already. However, after she passed, he accepted the throne and ended up choosing someone from a small noble family to be his wife. Me. We had never known the story. It's pretty interesting. Like, under normal circumstances, she would have been the person who at least he wanted to make Empress, although she likely would never have been accepted.
Right.
But because everyone knew how much the Emperor clearly loved her,
right,
it couldn't have been that much of a surprise when Oliver was born.
Yeah, and it's not like a lot of people actually look down on Oliver.
Oh, no, that's kind of what I'm getting at. If Oliver's mother hadn't died, the Emperor might have actually pushed really hard with the, no, this is the hill I'm going to die on. See, I even have a child. That's the one I want to marry, but she did not survive.
That's so sad.
And he wasn't the Emperor at that point either.
Yeah.
So once he officially became Emperor, he officially obtained a wife. That's his duty, after all. And it's not like it wasn't real.
Yeah, it's not like they don't clearly care about each other or their kids. She loves Oliver like he was her own.
Right, and when you get into, like, European Middle Ages royalty soap opera-y stuff like that did happen plenty of times. I'm just pleasantly surprised there wasn't any double dealing or cheating going on from anybody. It's like everybody comes out of that looking better.
The human heart is a complicated matter.
We obviously went through some troubles, but eventually Oliver began living with us, and I was blessed with my daughter and son. His Majesty had given Alphen and Cedric his whole heart as their father, but...
Yeah, speaking of fathers.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be discussing such things. No, it's fine. Prince Oliver's at the party City Hall is hosting tonight, right? Yes, he's there representing the Imperial family.
He can't even come to the main party.
How convenient that he is able to do that. His relationship with his parents is one thing. There's no guile or artifice there.
Right.
But much like how Emperor Eugent was, this is my son, we are recognizing him as my son, this is the end of the story. It's fine, he doesn't have to be the heir, but this is my son, and there is no question about this, and he will not be treated like a second-class citizen, he will be treated like my son. But there are consequences to that too. But
yeah.
I'm really glad it worked out well for them as individuals.
Same here.
The difficulty with royalty is that it is a position and an obligation more than a group of individuals.
Yeah.
I hope things will begin to change for the better here in the palace. And for the Vander family too. I hope for that as well.
I too would like to see Mueller playable.
Even still, that camera panning to Osborne.
I think it was more because she was talking about a devoted father who gave his all, and she didn't want to make Reen uncomfortable because Osborne was here. Maybe something like that.
Maybe something like that, sure. That's actually very valid. It just, something that seems to have been pushed in our faces lately that I thought was kind of interesting. Something occurred to me is all. And maybe I'm looking too much into this.
Us? Pshaw, never.
What's this line right here that I'm on?
Yes, she was the one the Emperor was truly in love with.
Oh, did you begin to notice something? The two schemers over there that Reen has heretofore been unable to speak with, they do have something in common, eh, as they continue to work together, Chancellor Osborne and Emperor Eugent. There is something very specific they have in common, eh?
Do you perhaps mean how both the women that they loved died under tragic circumstances?
As it turns out, Osborne's wife was murdered by Jaegers, and Olivert's mother, what's her name, Ariel? The person the Emperor was truly in love with, fell ill and died at a tragically young age. Now, I just want to take a quick glance over the themes of this game. How many people have come back from the dead, Billy?
At least 2?
3.
3, you're
maybe
right.
Maybe even 4. Doesn't it seem like Osborne is actually, potentially, like his ultimate goal, and the way he was able to get the Emperor on board might actually be to bring these women back to life? Doesn't that explain why Osborne might have a lot to do with the Phantasmal Blaze plan?
I hadn't even thought about that.
Is that all he actually wants is his wife back? And that's a sentiment that the Emperor can certainly get behind as well.
Yeah.
And don't forget what happened when the one scene we saw with Osborne and Emperor Eugent sort of conspiring together was how Priscilla kind of left, and Eugent was like, well, she doesn't entirely agree with your methods. This may not be the case, but it's just, one wonders if that might not be the goal after all. We just found out from General Craig not that long ago about Reen's mother and Osborne's wife, and now
We'll find out about the Emperor's.
in a required scene, the Empress says this.
You may be onto something there. I hadn't thought about that.
That may not be the case, but bringing back the dead, wasn't that what Zephyr wanted to do? Bringing back the dead, wasn't that what Reen wanted to do after he couldn't accept Crow's death?
Yeah.
Maybe. And so the party continued with Reen never getting an opening to talk with the Chancellor.
What?
Making all the small talk so worthwhile.
This is narrative blue balling. We still have after the dance for Reen to talk to Osborne, because I swear, if we get through this party and there is no talking of Reen with Osborne, I will explode into flames.
And I'll die too, and the house burns down. See, that would be bad. So, Osborne?
Our lives are in your hands.
Oh, God. With the party in full swing, people began gathering in the center of the garden. I really hope we don't have to pick who we're dancing with or something.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience. To start us off, my sister Alphin will have the first dance. The way I hear it, people all across the Empire have been awaiting this moment for years.
Some with dread, some with glee.
Yes, for 3 games now we've gotten an Alphin wants to dance with Reen, but we'll see what happens.
Like me, she is now 17 years old, and this dance will serve as her debut into high society. Her first dance partner shall be a certain instructor at Thor's military academy.
Oi! You don't get to decide that!
Well, he already did. And this is as far as it goes, I'm sure.
None other than the Ashen Chevalier, Reen Schwarzer.
And then Randy shows up. It's Randy Orlando!
What?
So then he's the princess's...
I hear he's only the son of a baron, but I suppose it's okay these days.
He seems to carry himself well.
Sure enough.
Yeah, there have been rumors going around like wildfire.
For years.
It's a huge honor, I guess.
Yes, he shall be the princess's first.
Sounds dirty when you put it that way.
I was about to say that!
Fee?
Classy, guys.
He was drowning in fame before, and now everyone's talking like him and the princess are already married.
Yeah, seems like everyone's reading way too much into this.
Well, to some degree, yes.
Enough to make you hate the guy, huh?
However will this play out, I wonder?
I suppose this is...
Aurelia!
Yes?
She glanced at Aurelia. Aurelia is an instructor at Thor's military campus. Is she going to ask Aurelia to dance in order to dodge all this?
But didn't Cedric just say...
Yeah? You gonna argue with Aurelia?
The Ashen Chevalier?
To tell the truth, I'm actually already acquainted with Mr. Reen Schwarzer. He's the older brother of my dearest friend. Allow me to introduce Elise Schwarzer. She is the student council president at St. Estrella Girls' School.
Oh, okay.
Princess? And she will be making her debut into high society alongside me tonight. Rean will choose which of us he dances with.
What?
Whoever he chooses, there will be no hard feelings.
Very well played, Princess.
How cruel!
I feel like that's just not fair to Rean in any way, shape, or form, or Elise.
There is no advantage to this for anybody. This is just mean.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rean can choose who he's going to dance with? Let's pick Aurelia.
Aw, what an adorable workaround.
She really is something else.
Princess!
You're a real lifesaver. I will respectfully take both the hand of my sister and her best friend, the princess. It might be a bit unorthodox, but please, allow us Schwarzer siblings to have the first dance.
Okay.
All right.
That was a good way of doing it. You just dodge the entire thing and give it an entirely different meaning.
Yeah, and didn't, sort of spit in the face of tradition, I suppose?
Yeah. Because if it looks like this, then nobody would expect that he would have to marry her, which Alphen would still quite enjoy.
But that's beside the point.
But battle's already lost.
Rean, your dancing is so smooth, it's like time has slowed down. No, that's just the frame rate, dear.
This also keeps Alphen off the hook for anybody. No social pressure.
Yeah.
I wonder whose idea this was. My word. Can one man truly be this lucky?
Lucky?
Lucky enough to dodge that bullet, you mean?
Well, he's talking about dancing with the
Had he danced with the princess first, the whole city would be planning their honeymoon by now. However, since he and his sister danced first, that ship has sailed, as it were.
Oh, Alphen.
That Ashen Chevalier is certainly quite the man. Wouldn't you agree?
You can thank Baron Schwarzer for raising him that way.
Yeah, Osborne can't really.
Now, all you young people here with us, follow their lead and enjoy yourselves. The Summer Festival's blue moon shines on us this night. I am certain the spirits are especially riled. So, let us give them a show.
What was it Osborne said before? Follow your heart and damn the consequences?
Yeah!
But wouldn't that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Ash looks so awkward. Ah, there it is! There it is!
You did it, Patrick! Yeah!
Fee, you chose the worst partner to dance with. She's dancing with Gaius.
Isn't he just picking her up and kind of
basically
carrying her around? I suppose for both the Emperor and for Osborne, seeing Rean do that is kind of heartening.
Yeah.
My apologies for arriving so late.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here.
Rufus. Ah, so good to see you.
Is that Governor General Rufus?
Boo.
I didn't know he was coming.
It seems you've stolen the spotlight all to yourself.
Well, I've just shown up here to get the story on the road, and then a catastrophe happens.
To tell the truth, I was at a party held by the Imperial Household Agency. I wish to greet His Highness Olivert, Governor Regnitz, Lord Ragnar, and Viscount Arcade before making my way here.
I see.
Thank you for your courtesy.
The night is yet young, and the party has only just begun. Bring out more food and drinks. Please continue to enjoy yourselves, by all means.
About what I was saying earlier, in the case of the Emperor, wouldn't he be quite happy to see someone saying, "Society be damned, I'm going to pick the girl I like"?
Yeah, I agree.
Eustace, come with me. Let us catch up, my dear brother. Marcius, Elisa, Elliot, and Laura as well. Join us. I'm sure we've much to talk about.
In that case, I shall call upon Ms. Valestein and Ms. Herschel. Come, allow me to introduce you to the Empress.
Billy, I know smoke is coming out. Can you please go jump in the shower or something? Because I do not want to die surrounded by flames and your viscera as you explode like a human bomb of rage.
Your desires are not a factor.
What's this about all of a sudden?
I don't know. But there's no way we can refuse.
Yeah.
Why just us, though? Does it have something to do with our families?
Well, not if... Well, I guess it would make sense with Makia.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
May as well get going then.
I suppose I'll go.
I wonder what they're talking about.
Think we should follow?
Yeah.
Reen!
Oh, Claire!
What's wrong?
Well, this may come as a surprise, but
Yeah.
a certain someone would like to speak with you.
You mean...
The someone who just left, perhaps?
Understood. I'll be going, everyone.
Excellent!
Ah, I live another day.
Yes. Good luck.
Try not to be too nervous! Reen? Instructor?
Huh.
The explosion would have been visible from space.
I'm just glad I don't have to clean it up.
Just go straight to the end of the hall, then make a right.
This isn't ominous or anything. Better take a look at my equipment or something.
Oh god, a one-on-one fight with Osborne? That'd be kind of awesome.
Well, I suppose it's going to be the Emperor.
That's good enough. I won't explode in an inferno of hate.
There's the back room.
Yes, let's go.
Ooh, what's over here?
Sir Reen Schwarzer has arrived.
Very good. See him in.
Oh, really?
Whatever it is, it's gonna be pretty important then. What is it, like, join the dark side, my son?
I apologize for calling you here like this, Instructor Schwarzer.
Okay, this is a blot scene,
Uh-huh.
so we know that means something crazy is gonna happen. Okay, because the other two blot scenes all had to do with Georg. Okay, which is like a big deal, right? Is the Emperor gonna get assassinated and then it's gonna be pinned on Reen?
Oh my god.
No, it's an honor to have an audience with the Emperor.
Who would be able to do that without Reen noticing them?
Well, who cares if he notices or not? I'm saying if they succeed, it doesn't matter, does
Fair
it?
point, fair point.
Your dances with your sister and Alfin were a sight to behold. Your skills as a lead were just as impressive as the rumors suggested. I'm sure my daughter was very happy.
Who's been going around spreading rumors about Reen's dancing skill?
Well...
I'm only joking. You've helped out Oliver numerous times. You've rescued Alfin twice. And you saved Cedric's life at the end of the Civil War.
This is why I don't think that the Emperor would ever do anything weird against Reen or something. So something important has to happen.
My entire family is grateful for everything you and the rest of Class 7 has done. As the Awakener of the Ashen Knight, the very same one my ancestor once piloted, you have saved many lives and averted many crises.
So you knew the truth about Emperor Dreikels?
Yes, indeed.
Of course he would.
Yeah.
Why would he not?
Right?
He's the Emperor.
As well as the relationship between the Chancellor and yourself.
You know that, too?
Now that you've mentioned assassination, I'm looking at those windows very suspiciously.
I'm really worried about this.
Yes, I figured it out somewhere along the way. When I asked, the Chancellor didn't deny it, so I took that to mean my suspicions were correct. He and I have much in common.
Yeah, we were talking about it.
Both of us have lost loved ones to the foolish schemes of others.
Wasn't that exactly what I said?
Yeah.
I've heard about the Chancellor, but Your Highness?
The schemes of others?
Yeah, as far as we knew, his wife just got sick and died. Maybe she was poisoned.
I believe her name was Ariel Wenheim. Perhaps she was poisoned, but she was not his wife.
Oh, right.
That's kind of important. He certainly would have wanted that. Whether it would have been accepted or not, well, you know, who knows? But he never got the chance to fight that battle, did he?
Yeah.
It happened long ago. Have you perhaps heard anything regarding Olivert's birth mother?
What was I saying? What was I saying?
I may have heard a rumor once.
He's heard a lot of rumors.
Apparently she was a commoner, but she passed away tragically.
She just got ill, that's all we've ever heard. But he's already said the schemes of others. You don't suppose that there were people who wouldn't allow her to be in the heart of His Majesty, the, at that time, Crown Prince?
The only people, I think, who could have an objection would be nobles.
The two of us enrolled at Thor's in the same year. She was a commoner, but her intelligence, grace, and bright smile were anything but common. We'd fight at times, but eventually we fell in love. Though both of us were young, we became involved with each other. She ended up dropping out of school and returning to her hometown. Oh, that's a shame. It's interesting that she did go to Thor's, though.
Yeah.
Then, sometime later, I found she had given birth to a boy. That boy was Olivert. I was still Crown Prince at the time. I wanted to make her my Empress, but she refused. I was at least able to send one of the Vanders to guard her. My father and the lords of the four great houses had been pestering me to get married for years, but I held out hope she'd change her mind.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that interesting? She's the one who shot him down, and nice on Mueller's backstory. However, when my father fell ill, a group of...
Excuse me!
Vomit everywhere. You don't suppose it was the same group of Jaegers?
Oh, of course it was.
The same nobles from Hamel, do you?
Probably, yeah.
A group of Jaegers seeking favor with one of the four great houses attacked her and Olivert. The eldest son of the Vander family managed to save Olivert, but she lost her life. It might not be the same group. It happened at a different time.
Well, who knows how long the group's been around?
No, it wasn't that it was the group of Jaegers. It was some kind of personal career advancement scheming.
That's what you meant.
Lecter's father.
Yeah.
They could be connected, but they just as easily could not be connected. My father passed on. I had lost her. I welcomed Olivert as the one ray of light left in my life and officially announced he was my son. Shortly thereafter, I married to ensure this tragedy would not repeat itself. She was the daughter of a small noble family, working as a maid. Priscilla accepted my courtship, despite knowing that my heart still belonged to my first love. Olivert seemed intent on walling himself off from everyone in the palace, but Priscilla was able to get him to open up. He finally accepted me as his father, and when the twins were born, he was just as happy as the rest of us, if not more so. And so, that is the messy history of the current imperial family.
Why are you taking out your phone and sending this information to Monk?
Oi!
I had no idea. But are you sure it's all right to tell me all this?
It's no great secret. Most of the larger noble families already know.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But my point is this. Both the Chancellor and I lost loved ones. But our sons yet live.
I just feel like I might have thought about this, a couple minutes ago.
Certainly a unique point of commonality, wouldn't you say?
Wasn't that exactly what I said? Look, I may not be right, but my point is, I'm trying to catch everything it's throwing down, okay?
And now he's going to get shot through the heart by a sniper rifle and come back to life.
Well, hell, he may as well just shoot Rean, too, then.
That's true. Is that why you appointed him as Imperial Chancellor?
You could trust a man whose true feelings you really understood, I suppose.
It's true that I felt an affinity with him. However, the most important factor was his negotiation of the ceasefire with Libero. The events of Hamel wounded my heart deeply, but I knew I could not allow them to be made public. He managed to get both the four great houses and Libero to concede to his terms and put the 100 Days' War to an end.
I should point out that later on, despite having won this amazing peace, he had an army of steam-powered tanks on the border and was ready to invade during the Orbital shutdown phenomenon. Osborne is no peacenik.
And so rose the first common-born Imperial Chancellor.
Now I understand. But in the 13 years since he became Chancellor, a lot has changed. The nobles have lost power, while he's only gotten stronger. And he's using that power to steer Erebonia in a dangerous direction. With all due respect, I don't think it's right to sit back and let him continue.
That's some stones to say that to the Emperor.
The Emperor may be one of the few people you could say stuff like this to. How much of a figurehead is he?
Right?
I understand your concern. Oliver's as well. Oliver is more concerned for his brother and sister's futures than anyone.
Quite apparently. Not really in this game quite as much, but
right.
You can see it in the other two.
In that respect, he sees the Chancellor as a bigger threat than the nobles do. However, things are not so simple.
I don't like how the music is cut out.
Oh no.
Regarding myself and the Chancellor, tragedies like Hamel, at times, this nation will make the most tragically foolish decisions.
So we've seen.
During the War of the Lions, the brothers of the royal family spilled each other's blood and pulled the nation into their feud. The history of Erebonia is smeared with blood and alight with flames, more than any other country.
That's
true. As far as we know, it's true.
He's right. Deception is an important tool in politics and war, but the thought of killing your own people as an excuse to invade another country.
As a teacher of history, I'm sure you have your own thoughts on this matter. So tell me, do you know the people of Erebonia to have a cruel temperament?
No more or less so than anyone else, anywhere else.
No. The people of Erebonia are sincere and value honor and pride. They think highly of martial skill, but know it is a virtue to use it only when absolutely necessary. The incidents you spoke of, it's almost as though a devil had been whispering in their ear.
What was it that one of the Black Records said?
A shadow came for Emperor Drycles to make a deal? Something like that?
There was a shadow that he could see and couldn't escape from while on his deathbed. Lecter, Claire.
Precisely. There is something in Erebonia.
It's clear. Evil keeps rising from the depths.
Right?
Nowhere else had we seen so many fiends.
Or number of cryptids.
Except in Sky Third, I guess, but that's fair.
Well, that was a special case.
Something which bends people's minds and steers them toward chaos.
Crossbell comes to mind here.
Perhaps it could be called a curse. One that has been with us since the founding of this nation.
Yeah.
If you've read the Black Records, you may have some idea what I speak of.
Well, what makes you think I've read any Black Records?
Some idea, yeah.
The Black Records?
We're still waiting on the last one to get translated.
It would seem the Church is seeking them out. but the original writings are in the Imperial family's possession.
That makes perfect sense. Why? And they would never, ever cough them up.
You're right.
Only those who succeed the throne are permitted to read them. They are records of the truth of this nation's history and a prophecy of its future.
I see.
So perhaps that's the future that everyone's been talking about, is this prophecy from the Black Records. But what does that mean exactly?
An inevitable future, no doubt. I'm certain any attempts to avoid it will only cause things to become further warped and twisted. That is one of the reasons I am not putting a stop to the Chancellor's actions.
Sure, I don't know all the details, but both the Chancellor and His Highness understand the situation fully. Yet they...
And so, I plan to not avert my eyes and watch to the end.
Huh?
As the ruler of Erebonia, the empire mired in darkness and founded under a curse, I shall watch my sons, the Crimson Wings, the new light of the nobility, and Class 7, both old and new.
Don't say something like this. I feel like you're about to get shot.
To see if any of them can overcome the iron will of the Chancellor and light the way to a new path for this nation.
Right, as we've been talking about.
I promise to give everything I have to find this new path. Not just as a member of Class 7, but on behalf of Thor's Military Academy and all its students and graduates.
So, as we had seemed to notice from the one scene we had with Osborne and the Emperor, it did seem like that Osborne's blatant attempts to provoke everyone
were deliberately on purpose.
But despite Emperor Eugent having said what he said here, Osborne's actions still don't make any sense. Why is he doing that? The Emperor knows, he just hasn't said a darn thing other than go out and get rid of him.
Yeah.
You're aware that would include both myself and the Chancellor, yes? But all the same, well said.
Or everything's going to be fine. Okay.
Welcome back. I'm not sure what you two spoke about, but I trust it was well worth the time?
Yes, most definitely.
Precisely. There is something in Erebonia. Something which bends people's minds and steers them toward chaos.
Rean.
It's nothing. Major, can I ask you something?
What was it Rufus said? Something about finding the core of the world and discovering the truth?
Reaching the core. That what everyone was trying to do was reach the core. Whatever the core is.
Yeah.
Finished with your chat?
Your Excellency.
It would appear you want no need to speak with me about something.
You're damn right!
I can't take too much time out of my schedule, but I have a room prepared. Shall we?
Yes, we shall.
Yes, let's go.
Huh?
Where are you headed, Ash?
I gotta take a piss. Wanna join me?
I think I'll pass. But let me say this. Don't so much as think about sneaking out.
Huh?
I admit it's a bit nerve-wracking, but this truly is a special event.
Because he wants answers from Osborne, too.
Right.
We should all enjoy it together as Class 7.
Who would have guessed the pretty boy was just as big of a nag as that wild filly? Maybe somewhere along the line, I'll let those guys get to me.
Oh, is something the matter, sir?
Oh, yeah, I was just on my way back from the bathroom, but I noticed something strange.
Something strange, sir?
Yeah, it's just around the corner here.
Yeah, he's gonna beat him up.
I believe this will be the first time we've been able to speak one-on-one like this. Since, of course, that day 14 years ago.
His Majesty told me. General Craig, too.
So I've heard. His Majesty knows the truth of my circumstances, more or less. Craig and Van Dyke, on the other hand, only know the facts that float on the surface.
Right. We've put forth throughout this playthrough several theories. It could still be any one of them or none of them.
Yeah.
They remain in the dark as to what truly happened to Brigadier General Gileath Osborne.
Then will you tell me? What happened 14 years ago?
Surely it's not something as straightforward as he made a deal with the curse of Erebonia.
No, it can't be.
Why did you leave me? Why did you leave your son? Why did you become a completely different person? You trampled over everything in your way, robbed the people of their pride and independence, and planted the seeds of the Civil War.
And then there's everything he's done since then, which is just as bad.
I like that he remembered V.
Yeah.
V wasn't really important, but he was kind of important for Reen, like his character growth and everything, because he was someone Reen couldn't save, but he wanted to.
After what you did to Jirai, you annexed Crossbelt and North Ambria, and now you're planning a war with Calvard.
And almost had a war with Liberal, another one.
Yeah!
At the same time, you're working with a black workshop and trying to bring all the darkest parts of the world toward the surface.
Yeah? Trying to bring all the darkness into the light?
What are you? No.
Maybe so that a bunch of heroes could do something about it?
Yeah, sure, but I still don't understand why. Surely it's not just something as simple as...
Oh, no, of course not.
Like, overthrow the evil emperor and usher in a new age.
No, I don't think so either.
Why are you doing this?
It sounds as though you've figured a great many things out on your own. First, allow me to commend you for not being consumed by your false hero's title. Very well. I shall start with your first question.
Oh my!
Are we actually getting answers?
This sounds like a great place to stop.
David, you can't be serious. How cruel!
You kept threatening to explode like a bomb right next to me!
Yeah, but you're not punishing me, you're punishing the viewers!
No, I'm getting them to come back next time!
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe!